chain rule. The chain rule of differentiation, of course. So if y is a function of u and u is a function of x, then dy by dx will be equal to dy by du times du by dx. So we say if y is a function of u and u is a function of x, then dy by dx will be dy by du times du by dx. So this is what we call the chain rule of differentiation, and we are going to illustrate this using an example or examples. So we have there two examples. If y is equal to 3x minus 1, all of that raised to the power 7, find dy by dx. So that's the first example we have there. Solution. So please pay attention here, because we are going to illustrate how to apply the chain rule. It's not so straightforward, but if you follow very keenly, then you're going to understand it, and it's going to be like ABC. So we have y is equal to 3x minus 1 raised to the power 7. First thing is to let u be equal to 3x minus 1. Then y will just be equal to u raised to the power 7, because you've let what is in this bracket to be u. And so replacing it with u, we are going to have y equal to u to the power 7. So here we have y as a function of u and u as a function of x. And so we can go ahead now to find the various components of this chain rule formula. So we need, in this case, we need a dy by du. This is y equal u to the power 7. Differentiating y with respect to u, in this case, we apply the general method which we just saw, and that is going to give us 7u raised to the power 6. That is, you bring down the power and then you subtract 1 from the power. That gives us 7u raised to the power 6. The next thing we need in this formula is du by dx. Now we are differentiating u with respect to x, because u is a function of x. Now, again, we apply the general method. So this is going to give us the power of x here is 1. When you bring down this power times 3, we're going to have 3. And x, let me just do it again. So this is 1 minus 1. And this is going to give us 3x raised to the power 0. And x raised to the power 0 is 1. And so we are left with 3. So du by dx is 3. So we've got everything we needed. We've had du. We've had the dy by du. Sorry, this is du. We've had dy by du, and we've had du by dx. So we can go ahead. We can go ahead to find dy by dx. Therefore, dy by dx will be, going by the formula, dy by du. Dy by du is 7u raised to the power 6 times du by dx. Du by dx is 3. And that gives us 7 times 3, that is 21u raised to the power 6. Our original function was given in terms of x, and our final answer should be in terms of x, because we are finding the change of y with respect to x. So we replace u by the substitution that we made initially. So this will give us 21 into 3x minus 1 raised to the power 6. And so that is how we use the chain rule to find the derivative of a function. Now let's look at the second example to do a further illustration of the chain rule for better understanding. So example 2, we are given y equal to e to the x squared. So e is raised to the power x squared. Now the first thing is to do a substitution. Let u be equal to x squared, because remember we said y should be a function of u and u a function of x. So we are going to have y being equal to e raised to the power u. Now we need dy by du by dx. So dy by du just simply be e raised to the power u, because when we differentiate, this is just something we should know. If we have f of x equal to e to the x, then f prime of x will just remain e to the x. So that's what we are applying here. We have y being e to the u, dy by du remains e to the u. Now we need du by dx. Du by dx. So this is our u as a function of x. Again, we use the general method and we are going to obtain 2x. That is, you bring down the power and then you subtract 1 from the power. So this will be 2, and x, you subtract 1 from 2, you are left with 1. So 2x, and we are done. We can now find dy by dx, which is dy by du times du by dx. And that gives us dy by du, that's e to the u, and du by dx, that's 2x. That's 2x e to the u. Again, we write our final answer in terms of x because we are looking for the change of y with respect to x. So we replace this u with the substitution that was initially made. So we have 2x e to the x squared. And that brings us to what we can retain, or I can say a general rule that when we have f prime, let's say maybe, so that brings us to what we can retain here. If we have y being a function of e to the f of x, then dy by dx is equal to f prime of x e to the f of x. Meaning when we have an exponential function, we have y being e to some function of x, then in order to get dy by dx, you differentiate that power, differentiate what is in the power, and then you multiply it with the exponential function itself and copy back the function of x without necessarily going through the chain rule, because either ways it will give you the same answer. So you could directly just do this. Having e to the f of x, you just find f prime of x and then you multiply it with the original function y that was given. So that is it for the chain rule. I hope you understood the lesson, and as always, it's been my pleasure having you on. If you have any questions, any doubts, or any worries, please do not hesitate to reach out and we are going to respond to you as soon as we can. We are going to end here for today, and in our next video, we are going to look at the product rule and the quotient rule. Thank you so much, and until I come your way again, remain blessed.